Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our Fallout Deep Dive series. In this series, we spend time talking about locations, characters, and factions throughout the Fallout series. We're a newer channel, so we've been focusing in on Fallout 4 while working through our playthrough over on Twitch. So be sure to check out our live streams if you're interested. The links are down in the description below. If you're new here and love Fallout, please consider subscribing for more Fallout content. And if you're returning, as always, thank you so much for your continued support. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to like and share the video with a friend as it helps the channel. Today, we're going to be taking a dive into one of the most visited and interesting places during my time in our Fallout 4 playthrough, Vault 81. Now, let's get into some Fallout 4. Just to the northeast of Diamond City, overlooking the Chestnut Hillock Reservoir, hidden within a small cave cutout, the sole survivor can locate Vault 81. Vault 81 is one of the few vaults within the Fallout series that is actively functioning as a vault while allowing outside wasteland survivors entry. When approaching the entrance to the vault, we're contacted by Officer Edwards as to why we're seeking entry in the Vault 81.
Hold it right there. Vault 81 security.
Oh, look at that.
I don't know where you got your hands on a working pit boy, but you better start talking.
I got it in Vault 111.
Vault 111? Haven't heard of that one yet. What sort of business are you looking to take care of here in 81?
When speaking to the Overseer, she requests 3 fusion cores before allowing us access within the vault, mentioning there is a power issue and that if we provide the fusion cores, she'll allow us access within Vault 81.
Let me speak to them. Sorry about that. Officer Edwards here was just doing his job. I'm sure you can understand our need for caution. For newcomers, we like to operate on exchange. You help us, we help you. Fusion cores. 3 to be exact. You get the fusion cores. We grant the access.
I already have the fusion cores you need.
Really? Well then, I suppose I should say welcome. I'll be down to meet you at the entrance.
Vault 81, as mentioned, is a very active and functioning vault within the Boston Commonwealth area. When exploring the vault, we'll eventually come into contact with a young Austin Engel who will give us the grand tour of Vault 81. This is Monday.
Hey, mister, are you really from the Commonwealth?
Yes, why?
Yeah. Why do you want to know?
I never met anybody from the Commonwealth before. I thought maybe you might want someone to show you around. Just 5 caps. This is the depot. The Combs family run it. Aaron and I are best friends. Her mom and dad fight a lot, so I don't like to go in there when they're around. But if you need something, they're the ones that have it. Shine Diner. Grant says that they'll take all of our hard work and turn it into
Well,
skill. Mr. and Mrs. Somerset run the diner.
This episode took a left turn.
Somerset's pies are the best.
Austin, that hair of yours is a mole rat's nest.
This is where Horatio fixes up people's hair. Aaron's mom comes here all the time. Gran hardly comes here at all. She makes me cut my hair, though. It's not fair. This is the school. Miss Katie runs it. It's boring most of the time, but Gran says I have to go anyway.
Your gran is a smart woman, Austin.
This is our medical clinic. If you get hurt or sick, you come down here. Dr. Forsyth says I can't bother him or Rachel while they're...
Austin's tour introduces the sole survivor to many vendors and eventual quest starter characters that will eventually lead us to uncovering the dark truth behind Vault 81.
I've had a few interesting moments.
Stop being so modest. My kids would love to hear about anything.
While Vault 81 on the surface seems like a very comfortable and laid-back location within the Boston Commonwealth, it holds a dark secret that has not been uncovered for hundreds of years. Vault-Tec created Vault 81 with the purpose of developing a single, universal cure for every known sickness that humanity could possibly suffer from. While at surface level this sounds like a noble goal, has a deadly catch to the experiment. None of the residents were aware of this, and the residents themselves were deemed to be Phase 3 test subjects during development of the serums. Vault-Tec had Vault 81 divided into two sectors. When playing through these, there's the main area and the Vault 81 secret section. The secret section is where Vault-Tec scientists would conduct their research and observe inhabitants as they were unknowingly exposed to different diseases and cures. The diseases were released via propellant nozzles hidden within the residents' rooms. In the case of an evacuation of the vault, everyone was to then be incinerated within the same propellant nozzles. Residents within the main vault went on to fully live out their lives, completely unaware that anything was going on just on the other side of their vault wall, or that they were even considered test subjects. In the year 2277, Overseer McNamara opened the vault for the first time since the bombs fell, allowing communication and trade with the outside world. This provided a badly needed source of food and other vital supplies, especially parts and tools to repair their vault's deteriorating systems. Many residents of Vault 81 maintained isolation as well as xenophobic mindsets, distrusting any outsider who was allowed to enter the vault. If we fast forward to the year 2287, a resident by the name of Bobby DeLuca has discovered one of the entrances into the secret vault and used it to store his drugs. A young resident by the name of Austin Engel witnessed Bobby opening the door and went in to investigate. Unfortunately, Austin was bitten by one of the lab mole rats, which had escaped containment and started a colony in the secret vault decades before. Unfortunately for the boy, the mole rats were still infected with the various diseases from the original Vault 81 experiment, resulting in Austin to become ill with an unknown disease. This is around the time that the sole survivor would arrive. If we accept the quest to help the boy, we're shown the entrance to the hidden vault and uncover the secret within Vault 81. During the process of searching for a cure, if the sole survivor is bit by a mole rat, he will contract the mystery disease as well. And upon success of recovering the cure for this disease, the player is then given the choice of either helping Austin and provide the cure or to use it on themselves if bitten. If the player decides to selfishly cure themselves, then sadly, Austin will die, and the residents of Vault 81 will resent the sole survivor. Alternatively, if the player decides to selflessly cure the boy, then Austin will survive, and the residents of Vault 81 will love and accept the sole survivor as an honorary resident, even offering their own space within the vault to reside in.
Works. If it doesn't, there won't be anything to analyze to try again. Let's hope. It shouldn't be long. You were really sick, Austin. Our visitor from the Commonwealth saved your life.
Really? Gee, thanks, mister.
I was worried to death about you, Austin. What got into your fool head? Going into a place like that?
When exploring Vault 81, the sole survivor will eventually discover the Old Overseer's Terminal, which is located within the generator room. As long as the player has a hacking level to access Master Lock terminals, we can learn that Dr. Olivet was skeptical of Vault-Tec's goal and the possible use of human experimentation. When reading the terminal entries, we learn that she planned to blow the whistle if it was found to be unethical. However, when she received her full briefing, she found out the true nature of the experiment and also discovered that Vault-Tec had major backers within the federal government, rendering blowing the whistle as a flop. What to do? It's much worse than I thought. I was finally given my full briefing today. Not only is Vault-Tec asking us to do clinical trials on humans, they've got some serious backers in government. I can't just blow the whistle on this. I've seen the admission roster. There are good people planning to live in Vault 81, and I've little doubt the vaults will come into use eventually. I won't reward the trust of these people by treating them like guinea pigs. I feel trapped. I don't know what to do. Dr. Olivet was determined to not let the residents of the vault be used as guinea pigs and tried to brainstorm a plan. On the morning of the Great War, Dr. Olivet received the call to start the notification of staff and residents, but sabotaged the call list so the original science staff wouldn't be notified, rendering the vault unable to properly conduct the experiment. I'm no criminal mastermind. Clearing the phone list prevented most of the science staff from showing up, but 3 still made it in. Flint and Colin are both my age and live in the Fens. They had time to get here with the general population. Burrow is just an overachiever and came by in the morning just to see if there would be a drill today. Figures. They reported to the research area. The vault protocols engaged automatically and sealed them in. They're already busy with their work, especially since there are only 3 of them. Her plan worked for the most part. However, 3 members of the science staff arrived at the vault upon the alarm. Kenneth Collins and Jim Flint arrived with the general population, and the 3rd scientist, Burrow, was visiting to ask when the next drill would be. As the 3 scientists worked to create their cure, Olivet watched over all their data and personally had to approve the scientists moving on to phases 2 and 3, animal testing and human testing on unknowing participants, respectively. Before human testing could begin, Olivet disabled the delivery systems, cutting off the scientists from infecting the vault dwellers. Additionally, she also sealed all access points to the secret vault, leaving the 3 scientists to die. I made a grim choice. I sabotaged the delivery nozzles in all the resident quarters as soon as I was able. I didn't expect Burrow to notice so soon. Hell, I didn't expect Collins to get so close to Phase 3 trial so quickly. I didn't expect half of what's happened in the past few months. Cutting off communications is a cowardly thing to do, but what options do I have? They'll have food and water in there as long as they need. I just can't let them go through with a human trial for God knows what Vault-Tec plans to do with their research. I only hope that somehow they can forgive me and live out their years in peace over there. Although Olivet was remorseful of what she had done, she took solace in knowing that the scientists would have enough food and water to live out the rest of their lives. To prevent any commotion within the general population, Olivet kept the vault's true purpose and the existence of the secret vault a closely guarded secret.
Do you think about anyone other than yourself? Your daughter could get sick like Austin, and your...
In this section of the video, we'll be taking some time to cover several of the notable NPCs within Vault 81, many of which I plan on covering with future videos, but I felt that they would be receiving a disservice if at least not mentioned when discussing today's topic. Gwen McNamara is the current overseer of Vault 81. McNamara is the overseer responsible for opening the vault in 2277 to a continuous mix of results a decade later when the sole survivor arrives. She is an essential character as she directly ties to the quest Vault 81 and Hole in the Wall. Calvin Whitaker is a middle-aged resident who is recognized as the maintenance man of Vault 81. While he does not always see eye to eye with Overseer McNamara, he happily accepts assistance from the sole survivor in his search for more tools when maintaining Vault 81. So if you need to make some quick caps, be sure to bring any tools you find to Calvin. He resides within the main atrium on the 2nd floor during the day hours. If you spend some time exploring Vault 81, then you've likely encountered Erin Combs. She is the young daughter of Alexis and Hold Combs. She's known for owning Ashes, the cat, and provides the side quest Here Kitty Kitty, which is a quest line that entails the sole survivor locating Erin's cat. Bobby DeLuca can be located within the reactor room with Old Rusty, but doesn't complete any of his work for himself. He's known around the vault as a jet addict and receives this from his sister, Tina. Bobby's ultimately responsible for Austin's incident within the hidden sector of the vault, as he's using the hidden vault panel to hide his chems. Dr. Jacob Forsyth is one of Vault 81's resident doctors. He works both as a scientist and a physician and is responsible for creating medicines along with his side assistant, Rachel. The sole survivor can provide a blood sample to Dr. Forsyth due to the fact that they have been genetically isolated while living within Vault 111. Doing this will trigger the questline Hole in the Wall. Katie Penn is the school teacher residing within Vault 81, and when she learns of the sole survivor's arrival, she will ask the sole survivor to speak to her students about life outside the vault while requesting to avoid any gory details. I think it would be a huge disservice to not mention Curie or the Contagions Vulnerability Robotic Infirmary Engineer, CVRIE. Curie's hidden within the secret sector of Vault 81 and can eventually become a companion to the sole survivor. Her purpose within the vault was to make sure that all of the original science staff was aware of the significance of the experiment and log important entries of progress made along the way. Once the scientists that did manage to make it into Vault 81 passed away, Curie's been locked away within the secret sector. The story behind Vault 81 is a very grim one. Although it has become known as a little oasis away from the Commonwealth, it hides that dark secret that even the current residents are surprised by once it's uncovered. I think the residents' reaction of shock at the hidden sector shows a glimpse of humanity and understanding that there is something more going on behind its walls. Vault 81 proves that there is sometimes more than what meets the eye in life. I believe through Overseer Olivet, Vault 81 had a chance to redeem itself and escape the clutches of Vault-Tec, and to see McNamara unknowingly resume that legacy by believing in humanity and opening the door to interact with the outside world showcases the human ability to grow and seek improvement. What did you think of your time while exploring Vault 81? Did you get the same sense of humanity when uncovering Olivet's ability to hide the truth and shut out the darkness in order to protect the residents? I'd like to take a moment to recognize our patrons. Bipolar Llama, Eternal Fire 117, Jess, Madi the Cryptid, Stephanie, Zach is back. If you'd like to further support the content and become a patron member as well, be sure to check out the link down in the description below. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on our next episode of the Fallout Deep Dive series.